All right, I just got off Steam. I got me a new remastered game. It's loading. All right, sweet. Here we go.
Any news from the other provinces?
What the hell am I looking at?
Yeah.
Who was that? What are they looking at?
I heard the Argonians, onions.
Is he talking to that guy's crotch?
It's all over, lawbreaker.
What shit? What did I? Oh, wait a minute. This is the Oblivion remaster. Hi, I'm Tyson.
And I'm Mike. And we argue with dragons.
Hey, listeners, my name is Tyson.
And I'm Mike.
We are arguing with dragons. Oh man, Mike, what a hell of a day we had this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. I had to wring the sweat right out of my shirt.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you caught our last week's episode, we were at the Quad Con at the Burlington Mall, if you could call it a mall. There's like only 3 stores left in there. But I tell you what, it was hopping Saturday. We interviewed so many good folks, so many nerds, and I'm just so happy with the way it turned out.
More people in there all at once than the last 10 years in that mall combined.
You know, they do that once a year. That they pack that mall out just for, Pokemon cards and 3D printed trinkets and novels that are handwritten by authors that are literally sitting in front of you, and art and old video game consoles. I mean, we sat next to some folks there. They're over in Mount Pleasant, Iowa, the Retro Rabbit Hole. Great folks. Looking forward to getting over there and doing some stuff with them.
Yeah, hey, maybe we should try to convince Matt to come on up to Burlington next year.
I think we could definitely give it a shot. I mean, if he sells 1 or 2 books, I mean, maybe it'd be worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mike, what was your favorite part about the con?
Well, honestly, I really enjoyed seeing a lot of folks that I had not talked to in a very long time, being that it was a return to my hometown. Granted, it's a 20-minute drive, but
You'd be surprised, man. 20 minutes away. I mean, nobody wants to drive 20 minutes south to a town smaller than a small town that they already live in. And I get it. I get it. You just
Yeah.
don't see the folks that you'd see on a daily basis when you're just out and about in your hometown.
Precisely.
So it was kind of nice. I got to meet a lot of Mike's old friends, and a couple of them are people I knew from way back when. A lot of folks that actually work with me at my day job were there, and that was kind of nice to see their nerdy sides come out. Laura with her tin hat. Oh, let me tell you,
Check out our previous episode. You'll see what we mean.
I miss working with that woman. It was never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. Speaking of tin hats, Mike, do you have some news for us? I hear.
I do actually. Yeah. I had found this story while I was just cruising a while back. Evidently, in Cedar Falls, parents have been filing lawsuit against a video game developer after their son stopped eating due to a game-breaking glitch.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Here, I'll read the story for you real quick. Local parents Richard and Susan Hargrove announced Tuesday that they are filing a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against the game developer Pixel Forge Studios after their son reportedly stopped eating for nearly a week because a critical bug prevented him from progressing in his favorite game. According to the lawsuit, the issue began when the company's latest fantasy role-playing game introduced a patch that caused an essential quest NPC to disappear, leaving players unable to advance the main storyline. The quote from the parents, "Our son has dedicated thousands of hours to this game," said Susan Hargrove while standing before a hastily assembled podium in her driveway. When the patch broke the quest chain, he simply sat there refreshing forums and muttering things about corrupted save files. We begged him to come downstairs for dinner. Witnesses report that the son spent 6 consecutive days pacing between his gaming chair and refrigerator before ultimately refusing to consume anything except energy drinks and handfuls of dry cereal. He kept saying the blacksmith is supposed to be standing right there, recalled neighbor Jim Walters. At first, I thought he was talking about an actual blacksmith. The lawsuit alleges that Pixel Forge Studios failed to adequately test the update and directly caused severe emotional distress, several missed meals, and what court documents describe as an unhealthy fixation on patch notes. The legal experts remain skeptical. Generally speaking, software bugs are not considered grounds for parental damages, explained attorney Melissa Grant, especially when the affected individual has the ability to simply play another game, go outside, or engage in literally any other activity. Excuse me. Pixel Forge Studios issued a brief statement acknowledging the bug and promising a fix. We are aware of the issues affecting a small number of players and expected to resolve shortly. The statement read, "We would also like to remind players that food remains available regardless of quest progression." Meanwhile, online gaming communities have rallied behind the affected player, with thousands sharing stories of their own battles against broken quests, missing NPCs, and inventory systems that mysteriously delete legendary items. At press time, the lawsuit hit an unexpected obstacle after court officials learned that the Hargroves' young boy is actually a 40-year-old man who lives in their basement and owns 3 separate gaming PCs.
Oh, the blacksmith is right there. He's supposed to be right there.
Well, that's the story of the century, let me tell you.
Oh my God. That's a wild story. Do you think maybe uh, that Todd Howard had something to do with that game?
Likely not. He would not. He would not step down from his throne made of encrusted golden human teeth to address the common folk.
Pixel Forge Studios, a division of what the hell is Todd's company called?
Bethesda.
Bethesda. That's right. It was on the tip of my tongue. And if my company was called Bethesda, I'd probably want to fucking rename it too.
Well, Bethesda is stationed in Bethesda, Maryland.
Oh, see, it all ties in.
It does.
Oh, done. So the reason Mike's talking about janky video games, folks, is because we are going to talk today about Oblivion, Elder Scrolls 4, a
The
game
king of jank.
a game that I have never played.
And shame on you for not.
Oh, so Mike, what do I need to know? Like, we're walking into this podcast here where Mike's holding all the cards and Tyson's just a fucking idiot. So,
My, how the turntables.
oh, Michael Scott.
That's not my last name, you idiot.
So, what do I need to know?
Well, there's an awful lot to know, so I think it's time for a lore dump.
Oh, my.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time I've actually taken the helm on this here horse and buggy that we call a podcast. So, Tyson, sit back, relax, eat a bowl of popcorn, try not to touch yourself, and pay attention. Now, the Elder Scrolls for Oblivion, a fourth main entry in the Elder Scrolls series, and takes place in the province of Cyrodiil, the political heart of Tamriel. The game follows a prisoner who becomes entangled in a Daedric invasion threatening the entire empire. Released during the height of the Xbox 360 era, Oblivion helped define the modern open world RPG and laid much of the groundwork that would later influence the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, a game everyone knows and loves. Now, a little bit of tech spec, if you will. Oblivion was an immediate and commercial success on release, March 20th, 2006 for PC and Xbox 360. Developed by Bethesda Game Studios and published by Bethesda Softworks. And it also launched on PlayStation 3 a couple of months later. Over 1.7 million copies were sold within weeks of release, and over 3 million copies by early 2007, just 9 months later. Long-term estimates place the total lifetime sales around 9 to 10 million copies worldwide. At the time, these numbers made it Bethesda's most successful game ever and dramatically expanded the Elder Scrolls audience beyond the niche RPG market. Now, Oblivion received universal acclaim upon release. Reviewers praised enormous open world, advanced graphics for the era, fully voiced NPCs, dynamic AI scheduling for the NPCs, day night cycle, radiant AI, and the NPCs even had individual jobs. And as well as the freedom of exploration that the open world of today has taken for granted so hard and so frequently.
This game came out in 2006.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And it had just about as much power to it as The Witcher 3,
That's amazing. You know,
relative to the era,
that's the
obviously.
kind of stuff that, 2011, 2012 are where, Grand Theft Auto 5, Skyrim and all that. That's where you feel like all that stuff started. But no, man, 2006. Wow.
Mhm. Now, critics frequently described it as one of the most immersive RPG experiences available. The game won numerous Game of the Year awards and remains one of the highest rated RPGs of its generation. Now, the tech specs are behind us. Let's get into the creme de la creme meat and potatoes, the main course of this here dissertation, if you will.
You're
Now,
going to talk about the lore behind the game, aren't you?
mhm,
Here's the remote, folks. Nobody would blame you.
mhm, I would. Alrighty. So the story is rooted around the aforementioned Oblivion invasion by Daedric forces. Now, thousands of years before Oblivion begins, there was a slave rebellion in which the leader of the slave rebellion, Alicia, made a pact with a dragon god. And that agreement lit some fires called the Imperial Dragon Fires that ensured that Oblivion would never overtake our world. And so long as a person of her bloodline was wearing the Kimmel Adabal, which is a sacred ruby gem, then the dragon fires would never go out.
What is
Now,
Oblivion, though?
Oblivion is a realm kind of how do I put this? It's what you might compare to real world hell, if
Okay.
you will. Multiple layers to it, so possibly even more so like the layers of the abyss in D&D, if you're familiar,
Okay.
or the multiple layers of hell according to Dante's Inferno. There's all sorts of places you can go in Oblivion that are all going to be vastly different. For instance, the Colored Rooms, which is the Daedric realm of Meridia. A new hand touches the beacon, that old meme. Her realm is basically a gigantic mansion, and every room is a different color. And there is so many rooms and so many colors on display, one can go mad just by looking at them all. Then there's the Deadlands, which is more apropos to this game. The Deadlands run by Mehrunes Dagon, which is just a fiery hellscape of brimstone, ash, and death. Now, the way this all happens is a cult called the, excuse me, edit that out, please. A cult called the Mythic Dawn encroaches upon Tamriel and starts killing off the heirs to the throne, and then finally the Emperor himself. The Emperor Uriel Septim, voiced by none other than Jean-Luc Picard himself.
Oh, you talk about audible chocolate. Patrick Stewart. Oh,
Shut up, Wesley. Yes, Patrick Stewart. Audible chocolate indeed, sir. Now, he is assassinated, and the dragon fires go out.
oh, so he was wearing the ruby.
Yes, he was part of the Elysian bloodline. And when he died, the fires went out because the ruby throne was not occupied by a member of the bloodline, and all of his heirs were dead. But he had a bastard son that no one knew about.
Oh no. Is that the player?
No,
Oh, fuck.
The player has to seek out this bastard son, give him the jewel, and put him on the ruby throne, lest Oblivion overtake Tamriel forever.
Forever. So that is the like crux of the game, basically. You're searching
The
for
beginning portion, you
you're searching
find this lost heir pretty quickly, actually, into the
for
main story, and the rest of it is convincing he who had taken to the life of being a quiet, selfless monk
Hmm.
to become the king of the empire, of the
Okay.
emperor, rather.
So
And one other note here, the voice of Martin Septim, the thus far unknown heir, the voice is Sean Bean. So you know he's going to die.
oh, for sure. I mean, that man can't take a role unless he's losing his head.
Yeah, that's
So
very true.
tell me about the villain.
The villain, there are a number of them, but the main baddie is Mankar Cameron. He is a wood elf with not necessarily delusions of grandeur, but he has an in with the big bad himself, Mehrunes Dagon, who is basically the devil. So he has an in. He is the one who leads the Mythic Dawn cult by preaching teachings that rhymes from Mehrunes Dagon himself from a magic book. And when he has the Imperial Ruby, the Kimel Adabal, he can wear it, which he shouldn't be able to because he is not of the Septim bloodline. But it is stated that the Septim bloodline is all Dragonborn. Note Dragonborn, Skyrim, you see the reference here.
Mhm.
So it is suggested that he might be one too, but that's never fully explained. It might have been overlooked in the lore by the part of Bethesda themselves. Hard to say. Either way, before I go on too much of a tangent here, Mankar Cameron is a very charismatic leader of a death cult. And when he promises them all they would have their own pocket of oblivion that they could live in, that would be a paradise for them. And you can see why they all switched over to worshiping the big bad. And well, you eventually go to this paradise, and it is a lush green forest with torture chambers and lava pits and demons everywhere.
Hmm. Well, that's quite a bit there, Mike.
Yes, it is.
So the game's immersive.
Yes, it is.
So it's deeply immersive. It's got an awesome story. The videos I watched about the game show, a lot of quirky aspects and all that, but they really do show a beautiful game, especially with this remake that came out a few years ago.
Yep, Oblivion Remastered was released last year, right around this time, actually,
All right.
or maybe a
So,
little earlier.
so did they change a lot like they did in Skyrim? Did they add shit in or
No, they did not. They took the old game, added it to a different engine with basically nothing different, and added a fresh coat of paint.
oh, well, sometimes a coat of paint is all you need, you know.
That's very true. And I'm going to be entirely honest with you. The amount of jank in Oblivion is the right level to be utterly charming and hilarious as opposed to frustrating.
So it's very janky, is what you're telling me.
Extremely. But
So
unlike Skyrim has a level of jank too, but those are all just engine issues, whereas Oblivion has a lot of personality. There is even one voice line that got past QA that is the voice actor saying, wait, let me try that again.
really,
Really?
that's fucking hilarious. Now, Mike and I listened and watched together a few YouTube videos called 10 minutes straight of Oblivion being Oblivion. And just to kind of juice us up for this episode. And let me tell you, folks, oh my fucking God, this game is something else.
It
So,
sure is.
Mike, I mean, we sometimes we like to beat up things that we love.
That we do. It's time to roll initiative.
Oh my God, I rolled a one. Shit. So this game is janky. Tell me, Mike,
Extremely.
why the hell did this win so many awards? If you got people talking to people's crotches, you got the worst kind of NPC behavior, you got voice actors messing up their lines. Tell me, Mike, why should this game have failed?
All right. Well, to be fair, as far as that rogue voice line goes, I have played through the entire story, all the side quests, and 100% of the game at least twice. And I've heard that voice line exactly once. Exactly once.
Oh, don't
Now,
defend this game, Mike. Let's tear it up.
oh, I'm not defending it by any stretch of the imagination. I was saying that first bit to get into the second bit. The voice line is easy to find if you talk to the right person in game. And that right person could be any one of 6,000 different NPCs because they hired about 4 people to do the voice acting.
6,000 NPCs and only 4 voices. Holy shit, we're going to Kentucky.
I know that Skyrim has already had that mentioned in the episode that we did about it, but it's even more egregious in Oblivion.
6 years later, they didn't even learn their fucking lesson, did they?
No, they did not. And also, as far as accenting goes in the voice lines, it's like they didn't even try. It's like they didn't even want to try.
So they all have like Maryland
Well,
accents.
the Khajiit voice actor, the Giswan voice that they do. This one is Khajiit, yes. And I'm not exaggerating.
He had too much skooma.
Skooma is actually plays a surprisingly small part in everyday society in this game, which is a huge missed opportunity because in Morrowind, it was listed as an actual narcotic, and you couldn't even open most shop windows if you had some.
Well, they could definitely tell a drug dealer from a normal person in Morrowind.
That they could. That they could. Now, another issue is that the horses are just insultingly hard to control. And this was the first game in the series that had horses.
Oh man.
So, to be fair,
Way to release that.
they had horses in Daggerfall, but that was all first person view, and it played like shit because it was done on MS DOS. This had everything going for it, and they couldn't get the horses right.
Well, that's Todd Howard for you.
Very true. And the ragdoll physics, while hilarious at first, do get old pretty quick when you're trying to manage where you put bodies.
So where did the Imperial touch you? It's every time I hear ragdoll physics, that's what I think of.
I'm sure you do because you watch a little too much court TV.
Oh Lord. All right, so tell me more. Tell me about this game and why it sucks.
Well, it sucks for a lot of reasons. The aforementioned voice acting issues, janky controls, silly voice acting, all of that. There is just so much to hate about that, but the story is way too short and they pad it horribly by giving you missions to go to certain caves, empty ruins and fortresses that are overly long.
Well, isn't
One
that
thing I hate.
pretty much all of Skyrim? I mean,
Well, Skyrim, they have short and sweet cave encounters and whatnot, but they are just a bit repetitive. With Oblivion, they are less repetitive, but just overly long.
huh.
It's
Do they
rather
also have
unfortunate.
exits? They have exits right by the entrances.
No,
Oh,
not in all of them, at least.
thank God, because that's my pet peeve about Skyrim.
I mean, you call it a pet peeve. I actually rather like that. A lot less backtracking, a lot more time getting on to bigger, better things. But I digress. The issue that I faced the most in Oblivion is the fact that, just like with Skyrim, if you swing your sword into a crowd, which this game has a lot of that happening because you go into war scenarios where you are accompanied by a group of guards going into Oblivion gates and fighting hordes of demons. You swing wrong and you hit a guard, they all start attacking you.
Well, yeah, you're probably possessed by a fucking Daedric prince or some bullshit.
Yeah, or if you swing a little too wide with a two-hander and you hit a guard and a demon, you are treated as hostile. So now you got a horde of guards and a horde of demons coming after you.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Exceedingly.
All right. So this game is janky. It has a lot
Exceedingly.
of problems. It has a lot of.
Yes, it does.
What is the biggest problem? The
The
biggest, most importantly
biggest.
terrible thing about, well, like, come on, piss the internet off, Mike. What's your hottest take on this game?
My hottest take is that the game is too easy to exploit.
Oh man, don't let Travis hear you say that. He'd be like, there is no such thing as a game that is too easy to exploit. I mean, we
Mhm.
have YouTubers making professional videos and monetized performances off of just exploiting Bethesda games.
Very true. And we watched one of those videos right before we recorded
We
tonight.
did.
But what I'm getting at is just
Keanu Keeves
wealth
is
of
the greatest
ability.
man I have ever met. The
He
Spitting
is
Brit,
great.
excellent YouTuber.
Yes, he is. But anyway, the one thing specifically that I would gripe about the most is just the wealth of availability of exploitable things. Per example, if you do it right, you can switch between your inventory screen and another screen of a container, like a barrel or a crate or even a treasure chest. You can move something to your inventory, close the menu, and reopen the containers menu. Your item will be duplicated. And you can do that ad nauseum. Infinite money glitch, infinite item glitch, or whatever you want to call it.
Are they, did they patch this stuff out in the remake?
Nope. They
Hmm.
sure as hell did not.
Why? Why would they not fix these things? Do they not care?
They did the remaster and kept all of the issues from the original game to preserve its legacy.
Okay. Okay. So what about the folks out there doing Skyblivion?
Skyblivion is a fan made passion project being heralded by a group of volunteers who haven't made a dime off of all their work. It is almost done, and it may very well be fully released by the end of the year.
And that is the Oblivion game completely remade in the Skyrim engine, right?
Correct, sir. Now, the greatest thing about Skyblivion when compared to Oblivion Remastered is it is a passion project made by fans. I have every possible notion in mind that Skyblivion is going to be a lot more stable, a lot cleaner, and a lot more polished than Oblivion Remastered.
Hmm. I wonder if it'll have the same exploits that Skyrim had.
I would venture to guess not. They implemented the spellcrafting system from Oblivion. They implemented underwater combat from Oblivion, as well as the entire main story, all the DLCs, the whole kit and caboodle, all that in a bag of chips.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned DLCs. There's a fun fact you told me before we recorded tonight about that. Why don't you share that with the audience?
I sure will. Oblivion basically invented paid DLC
Ooh.
by introducing horse armor.
Horse armor. Yes, folks, armor up the horse that you can't even control.
Exactly.
What a fucking joke.
Now, to the credit of Bethesda, when they released Oblivion Remastered, they included an extra horse armor DLC, which allowed you to go on a couple of side quests to get armor that is befitting of the Daedra and horse armor befitting of the Empire so that your horse could match.
And you had to pay for that, right?
Actually, no, that was included. When Remastered was released, it included all DLC.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
I was gonna say those original DLC microtransactions that it entailed in the
I
original
paid a microtransaction for this 20 years ago, and now I'm paying another one? What the fuck?
well, I know Todd Howard sitting there wiping his ass with your dollar bills, folks, and probably lighting his cigars too.
Yep.
Hopefully not.
And when the Elder Scrolls 6 finally drops in 2048, he'll be wiping his ass with $5 bills.
Oh my God, 2048. It can't
I
go.
mean, by the looks of things, it's going to be another 3, maybe 4 years before it's done.
Well, he's
They could have
got
just skipped
that.
Starfield and ain't nobody would have missed it.
No, you're absolutely right. Starfield seems like it was kind of a catastrophic failure.
It had a lot going against it from the start. And then you had heel versus babyface coming on and screaming about gender inclusivity and everything. And that ignited a whole talking point.
Oh my God. I
Yeah.
mean,
I
I'm all
mean,
for equal rights and all that shit, but people just take this shit too far sometimes.
blown way out of proportion. What does it matter if it says male or female in plain English or whatever language on the screen versus body type A, body type B?
You know,
Who's it hurting by
at-
having the option to be gender non binary?
it's not. And it's just,
Precisely.
eh, I don't know. I think people just make too big a fucking deal out of all of that. And I mean, I get it. Sometimes people's feelings are hurt when other people are unkind humans to them. But at the same time, I mean, like, you don't go out of your way to pick apart every game you see just because it refers to a man or a woman, or it refers to gender A or gender B, or body A or body B. Who fucking cares? It's a game.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
enjoy the art, okay?
You
Just
could make the argument that not having those options can be harmful to non-binary, trans, etc. Players because they don't have options that fit their own selves.
look,
Which
okay.
in
If
an immersive RPG, I get that.
okay,
I
that's
do.
fair. That's fair. That's fair. But I mean, this is going to sound really horrible, but and God help me, I'm not trying to offend anybody by this statement, but I'm picturing the Dragonborn in Skyrim running around in a wedding dress with a two-handed sword,
Hey, I've done that actually.
hacking people up and cross-dressing at the same
I mean, it's not
time.
cross-dressing if nobody's alive to see it.
That's fair. That's fair. Mike, I think
Yeah.
we're gonna do a little skill check right now.
It's just a skill check.
All right, folks, I have 5 trivia questions. I would consider these moderate to difficult, basically revolving around Oblivion, and we're gonna see just how good Mike is with this.
Only 5? Come on,
Only
what is
5.
it, amateur
We
hour?
have a tiebreaker round too, so in case you end up not quite getting there, we'll see if you can get yourself over the edge. All right, folks. Question number 1: the gray fox.
Okay.
When the gray fox removes the gray cowl from, or the gray cowl of Nocturnal, what
Great cowl
happens?
of nocturnal, yes.
What happens to people's memories of him?
They are completely wiped. They have no recollection of him. And in game, just as a little plot point to you, Tyson, something that you might find interesting, in one of your conversations with the Gray Fox, he tells you, I have told you my real name no less than 5 times in this conversation. You don't remember me saying it, do you?
That is actually kind of neat. And you're correct. Everyone remembers the person, but all deeds and identity associated with the gray fox are separated from him. The curse
Hmm.
transfers the identity of the gray fox to whoever wears the cowl.
Yes, indeed. And all memory of him as a person under the cowl are gone from history. His own wife does not remember that she had a husband.
Oh, wow.
Kind of reminds you of a certain monster in D&D with multiple heads that sings.
Ooh.
Ah, false Hydra.
Ah. Number 2, the arena grand champion.
Hmm.
Who is the arena grand champion when the player first enters the arena, and what race is he?
The Gray Prince, half orc, half vampire.
What is his name?
Sorry?
What is his actual name?
Oh dear. That I don't remember.
Oh, folks, Mike
I'm trying to
struck
pick it out
out.
of the annals of my brain. Give me a second here.
Some nerd right now is
Give me a second.
shouting.
Give me a second. Give me a second.
He's shouting at
Give
his
me a
phone.
second.
It's this, you fucking idiot.
I'm thinking here. Balagog grow no lobe.
No,
No, Balagog grow no lobe is
it
from
is
Skyrim. Never mind.
Agranok grow Malug, an orc.
Not an orc, half vampire.
He is classified as an orc. He
Shouldn't
is
be.
secretly the son of a vampire lord,
Mm-hmm.
Lord Vovitskus. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with these names. Call him freaking
Okay.
on.
Just to explain here to you, Imperials in this game are all based entirely on the Roman Empire.
Yeah, I knew that.
And a lot of the vampires in game are Imperials, so they're going to have Roman-esque names.
Yes, but that one's a little bit difficult. All right, number 3, the Daedric Princes.
Mm-hmm.
Which Daedric prince requires the player to bring a black soul gem as an offering to begin their quest?
Azura.
Incorrect.
Wait, no. A black soul gem. Shit, no, not Azura. Carmenia. Moleg Ball.
Incorrect.
Okay,
Hermes Mora.
really?
Hermes Mora is the correct answer. Question number 4, Mythic Dawn commentaries.
Oh.
How many volumes of the Mythic Dawn commentaries must the hero of Kvatch
Kvatch, yes.
collect during the main quest?
4.
4 volumes, correct. Who is the author?
Mankar Cameron.
You are correct. Very good. Number 5, the final battle. What artifact does Martin Septim use to transform into the avatar of Aktosh during the defense of the Imperial City?
During the defense of the Imperial City, he shatters the Kim El Adab ball.
What does he use to transform into the avatar, though?
The Kim El Adab ball.
Incorrect. The Amulet of Kings.
That's the Kim El Adab ball.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just a fucking idiot, I guess, folks.
I mean, if you look it up, that's what it is officially called, is the Kim El Adab ball.
Between Tamriel and Oblivion. All right. So, would you like the tiebreaker question?
Yeah.
What is the name of the inn located inside the Imperial City's market district?
In the Imperial City's market district? Oh, okay. That one's a little tough. My goodness. I'm not even going to try that one.
The Merchant's Inn.
Of course it is.
Yeah, it's something simple that most people would overlook. All right. Well, hey,
Could have said the pig and whistle, and I would have been closer.
you got 4 out of 6 correct.
Yeah, I did. Hey,
3
I told you as a disclaimer, this is the
Three
game I played the least.
3 out of 6. No, I'm still impressed. Very good, Mike. Very good. I would say he probably rolled a 13 on his knowledge check, folks.
Yay.
So we'll give it to him. We'll give it to him.
Now,
All
when
right,
we
folks.
do this with Morrowind, it's going to be even harder on that skill check simply because the names are so unpronounceable.
Oh, that's fair. All right, folks. This is our call to action segment. Mike and I are so thankful for all that you guys do for our podcast. Aren't we,
Yeah,
Mike?
like hell we are. We most certainly are. More than grateful for all the people that have reached out to us, given us kind words, even the people that are critical of us.
You know,
Reddit.
yeah, Reddit. Thanks, Reddit. You know how to simultaneously fulfill my dopamine high and take me down a notch. I appreciate it. But folks, as evident at the con this last Saturday, there's a lot of folks out there who are nerds, just like me and Mike. And we want to talk to you. and we want to interview you. We want to bring you on the show. We want to give you a voice. You got something important to say? You could be like that one kid who doesn't think Helen Keller's real. I mean, that's
That was extremely out of pocket, but he did bring up some interesting points.
I know.
Didn't
I
say
know.
good points, just interesting ones.
Yeah, and it's shit like that's fun that people
Yeah.
just think about that that they can get out there. And whether it's real, whether it's not real, I don't care. But if you're passionate about something, if you're passionate about a game, if you're passionate about Dungeons and Dragons, if you're passionate about conspiracies, even if you're not really a conspiracy theorist, but you just like the ideas, if you're passionate about a cartoon, you're passionate about a comic book, you are somebody we want to hear from. And you should be following us. Facebook.com/arguing with dragons. TikTok at arguing with dragons.
Or save yourself the trouble, go to our link tree.
Yeah, go to our link tree, folks. Right on our Facebook page is the link to the link tree, and it will be linked in our episode description. So you can go right there, find it, go. All of our socials are there. Link to anywhere you want to go listen to the podcast. You can sign up for our newsletter there. And we've even got a store going. And so we're selling some merch. You can buy a shirt if you want to support the podcast.
Absolutely, you can. At the moment, we've only got our logo shirts, but eventually I'm going to bring out some designs that you can't live without.
Right. So, yeah, there's the logo shirt. There's the Littlest Dragon is Unamused shirt, which is in honor of my youngest daughter, who has been to both conventions now as an unofficial mascot for the podcast.
Yep. And look soon for my I'm cute but kind of stupid t shirt.
Yeah, that's definitely Mike. So, folks, what I'm saying, thank you for what you do for us. Get out there and smash those like buttons, hit those follow buttons, and tell your friends. The best thing you can do for our podcast is give us a good rating on wherever it is you're listening, whether it's Spotify, Amazon, Apple. Those ratings matter. They get it in front of people. And the more you share it out, the more folks will listen. So thank you.
Thank you indeed.
So, Mike, you
Yes,
obviously love Oblivion,
sure do.
and this is a game that is near and dear to your heart. So, I could listen to the canned responses and all that shit all day long, but I want to hear from you personally. What was it that made this game for you?
What made the game for me was just how carefully and lovingly the story, the world, and everything was crafted.
Yeah, I could see that.
There is
Oh,
so much lore to get into there as well, to the point where it might even surprise you just how much you miss on a single playthrough and just how much paying a little extra attention during a piece of dialogue that seems completely unimportant might mean. For instance, you can even find Maik the liar in Oblivion.
oh, was it
And
in
he
Skyrim
talks
too?
about drag. Yes, he's in Skyrim, he's in Oblivion, and he's in Morrowind.
Oh man, that guy's long lived.
Well, there's dark history, dark mystery, and lore capabilities in that.
You
People
mean
have talked about it.
a conspiracy theory, Mike? We should do an episode on conspiracy theories in video games.
Yeah, we should. But that's the point I'm trying to make. There is just so much that could be so easily missed by somebody that's not actively reading into the lore and paying close attention.
Mike, you are kind of a lore whore sometimes.
What do you mean, kind of?
So why should I go out and spend $40 right now on the remake?
Because you can throw lettuce at people.
I can. So you know me, Mike. I'm a world builder. I love that
Yes, you are.
huge immersive world. So do you think this is a game that would inspire me?
I would say so, absolutely.
What?
The entire Elder Scrolls franchise is just chock full of lore.
Hmm. Okay. So, folks, if you think Mike did a great job convincing you that Skyrim or Oblivion, I'm sorry, if Oblivion is a great game to go out and buy right now, even if you're going to spend $40 on a game that came out 20 years ago, write us in at argumentwithdragons.com and tell us what you think of Elder Scrolls Oblivion, why it was awesome, why it sucked, why you should definitely go out and buy it, or why you should not spend a dime on this fucking game.
And explain to us also why you believe that Tony Robbins is actually five monkeys wearing a human suit.
Is he?
Probably.
Holy hell. Who knew?
Catch that on our next conspiracy theory lightning round.
So, I watched some of these videos on this game, and I will tell you that it does look really interesting. I was kind of impressed with goblins being like a common villain and ogres running around, because in Skyrim the shit gets real repetitive with like hags and bandits and all that. Is this a game like that? Is there a lot more diversity in the villains in this game?
I would say there's some, yes. Now, it's going to have the same pitfalls as just about any other RPG game. You are going to run out of enemy archetypes eventually. But I would say that Oblivion does have a far larger wealth of them than Skyrim does.
Okay. So what
Yeah.
about the class system? I saw in the video that it talked about making your own class.
Yes, it does. What that does pretty much is it gives you an extra boost to certain skills early on. So, like, say you want to go with the assassin class, you start off with, say, 10 in sneak instead of 5.
Gotcha. So you
Yeah, so it just gives you a starting boost.
you pick from elements of different classes to get a boost.
Yeah, just an early game boost for the most part. It's not going to largely shape how you play the game in the end game because we all know that you're going to be a stealth archer anyway.
Is that like that in this game too, just like it is in Skyrim?
It operates under the same exact mechanics, and honestly, I think Skyrim did it a little better, but that's just me. But as far as mechanically, yes, it's the same idea.
So
You
what is
sneak, you shoot an arrow, you do extra damage as a sneak attack. The enemy dies before they notice you there.
so what does this game have on Skyrim? Is it better? Is it worse?
Hard to say, really. From the perspective of gameplay, I would honestly vote in favor of Skyrim. It handles a little better mechanically and control wise, it just plays better. But as far as lore implications, story, and even quests and quest lines are better in Oblivion.
Hmm.
The Dark Brotherhood and Thieves Guild, especially, are leagues above Skyrim.
Yeah.
And there's an entirely new faction in Oblivion called the Fighters Guild, which basically is the companions of Skyrim, but operates a little differently. You start off basically as a mercenary and then uncover a plot.
Are they a little less werewolfy?
There are no werewolves in Oblivion.
Okay. Well,
There are vampires, though.
that's good. That's good.
They burst into flames as soon as as soon as the sun comes out.
Oh shit. So in Skyrim they can run around in the sunlight and they're fine.
Well, they're weakened in the sunlight in Skyrim, but yes. But that's actually explained away in the lore in that there's multiple strains of vampirism,
That's fair.
which I find to be actually kind of interesting.
Well, I know. I've played D&D with you and we're dealing with that bullshit right now. Interesting.
I'm aware.
Oh, folks.
This was actually based entirely on a couple of throwaway lines that were in Oblivion. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, see, it all ties in. So,
It
folks,
does.
speaking of Dungeons and Dragons and Tristor, we a few weeks ago completed a game that was recorded, and I actually had a little bit of time and pulled some of that recording up today and listened. And I think I'll probably be working on that in my spare time, folks, to release out to you so you can get a feel for what we do when we game, all of us.
I should say so.
That might be something I release about by our like as a celebration for our 20th episode.
Join our Patreon to get the full uncut dick jokes.
Yeah, right. So speaking
We
of
don't have a Patreon, but still.
well, actually we do. There's just nothing to sign up for on there yet.
Exactly.
You can follow us on Patreon though if you want, folks.
Oh, if only if you want to just give us your money.
Hey, I need to set up a tip jar or something. So speaking of seasons, folks, Arguing with Dragons, we are right now recording our 19th episode. We will have episode 20 coming out next week, and that's going to end our first season. I know, right? A round of applause. We made it 20 episodes. That means we've been doing this shit for 20 weeks. I mean, that's like almost half a
That's
year.
more than double than most podcasts ever even put out.
That's true. That's true. You count our lightning rounds in there. We got quite a bit of content out there, folks.
That we do. That we do. But
So,
I would like to just posit something, Tyson.
yeah, what's that?
Are we going to be like the detective thrillers that you fall in love with after 20 episodes only to get pissed off because you have to wait a whole year to see what happens on the cliffhanger ending?
Hell no.
Are we just going to pick this up immediately the following week?
Maybe.
Or are we going to take a 1 week break?
We might take a week break, folks. So don't be shocked. We will still put out at least a lightning round after the 20th episode, just as
Hell
a
yeah, son.
teaser. But what I want to talk to you about, listeners, is that we're going to hone our season 2 in a little bit. This season was great. We learned how to be a podcast. We learned what people like, what people don't like to listen to.
And we discovered what it's like to be on the con circuit too.
Yeah, exactly.
Can
So
you imagine doing that 7 or 8 times a year?
I don't know. I don't know if I'd end up hating it or I'd love every minute of it, because some of what I see in those vendors is like, oh, they're tearing down again. They're setting up again, and they just look dead inside.
That they do.
Last con, some of them look pretty dead, but they
Granted,
are.
we do something a little different than somebody who's just hawking their wares, you know?
That's true. That's true. I'm not selling a bunch of old action figures. I'm selling you, listeners. No, I'm
Or
selling.
more importantly, we're selling ourselves.
Yes. And thank God Mike keeps his clothes on. But what
Sign up for our Patreon and it'll start stripping.
oh Jesus. So season 2, like I was saying, we're going to hone in a little bit, and we're going to focus most of season 2 on role-playing games, and not simply Dungeons and Dragons, although I think that'll be a big topic multiple times throughout the season. But we're going to talk about the games. We're going to talk about the process of how people role play, why people like these games. What is it about games like Oblivion and Skyrim and Legend of Zelda, even if that really doesn't count as a role playing game? I kind of think it is.
In a way, yes.
It's a platform, or not a platformer, but
Well, Zelda 2 is a platformer, absolutely.
oh, that's
And it had more elements of role playing game to it. But that's a topic for another episode.
yeah.
Perhaps in season
So
2.
yeah, there's a ton of role playing games out there, and there's a ton of tabletop games, and people get together, and I see the light in people's eyes when you talk to them about D&D. If they know, they know. And if you know, listeners, you know. So season 2, we're going to dive into that a little bit deeper. And if that interests you, cool. I want you to tell us all about how excited you are for season 2. If you think we should go another route and talk about crazy ass conspiracy theories and stuff, message in and let me know that too. We will have lightning rounds just like we do now, where we can go off topic and talk about the craziest shit ever. I don't care. But we will continue to be interviewing folks through season 2, as many as we can get on any topic we can get them in. My wife actually told me that our interviews are the best thing about our podcast. She loves them so much. She could listen to them all day long. And I told her, cool, go actually download them. So,
Bet she put you on the couch that night, didn't she?
she's like, I'll get around to it. No, she sat at the Midwest Game Fest though, folks, and she listened to everybody we interviewed. And she loved it. The passion people have for this stuff. She learned so much about some hobbies I have that she didn't understand before, and how many people out there share them. And that's what I'm most excited about, is how many people out there are sharing our hobbies. So Mike and I are going to try to find another con at least this year, maybe one more we can go to. And we're going to work on some more guests. And if there's anybody we've already talked to, folks, that you want to hear from, I know I've got some communications open with the folks at Forever March Gaming. They were interested in coming back on for a deep dive. We talked to them at Midwest Game Fest. 4 kids that are out there making games. And
I think the eldest of them was what, 23?
Something like that. It blew my mind. I'm like, what have I done with my life? You kids are out there with an actual business doing this. So it was amazing. And of course, we're gonna expand the shop on our link tree to Mike's working on some custom shirts that may or may not have anything to do with the podcast. But hey, I am working on this boy getting out there and starting a t-shirt business because he's got some cool ideas and I'd love to see him fly.
I would love to be able to fly, except I'm afraid of heights.
Yeah. So, arguing with dragons, folks, we're not going anywhere. We're here to stay. And if you're excited, I'm excited too. So,
Hell yeah.
thank you for being part of our podcast.
Thank you once again from the bottoms of our hearts.
All right, Mike, do you got any closing facts or anything fun for the audience before we say goodnight?
The little dab of toothpaste you put on your toothbrush is called a nurdle.
A nurdle? What?
A nurdle.
You're making this shit up.
I most certainly am not. Look it up right this second.
That little dab of toothpaste, folks, you can swallow it too, and it won't kill you.
It won't kill you, but RFK Jr. might say something about fluoride.
That's exactly the joke I was going to make. All right, folks. My name is Tyson.
There's too much fluoride in the water.
My name is Tyson, and this is RFK Jr.
I'm actually Mike. I'm sorry my impression was so good that you couldn't distinguish between the two of us.
I know I was like, oh my God, I gotta put away the vegetables and my vaccines. This guy's coming for me.
And hide Kid Rock's milk.
Oh, I bet you that's that green milk that Luke Skywalker was drinking. And
Sounds about right. I mean, Kid Rock looks like he smells like stale cigarettes.
yeah, it's that fucking guy that smells like an ashtray from 3 blocks away.
Yeah.
It sounds like one too. All right, folks, my name is Tyson.
And I'm Mike.
All right, you have a great night.
Good night, folks.